Iran has warned Washington of consequences after U.S. strikes near the Strait of Hormuz, vowing retaliation and raising fears of a wider regional conflict. After President Trump ordered retaliatory strikes over the downing of a U.S. Apache helicopter, Tehran responded with fresh threats and military action, escalating tensions across the Gulf. As CENTCOM wrapped up its strikes against Iranian targets, Tehran claimed to have launched attacks on U.S. bases, signaling that the confrontation is far from over. U.S. CENTCOM statement read, and I quote, U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, forces completed self-defense strikes against Iran, June 9th, at the Commander-in-Chief's direction in response to yesterday's downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter. CENTCOM forces struck Iranian air defense, ground control stations, and surveillance radar sites near the Strait of Hormuz with precision munitions from U.S. Air Force and Navy fighter jets. The operation was a proportional response to recent attacks on U.S. forces and international commercial ships transiting regional waters. U.S. forces remain vigilant and postured to defend against unjustified Iranian aggression, unquote. While CENTCOM says its operation is complete, Iran's Revolutionary Guard has signaled that its response is only beginning, with U.S. military bases across the region now firmly in its sights. Iran's Qadam al-Anbiya Central HQ statement read, and I quote, in response to the aggression of the terrorist American army in areas of southern Iran under the false pretext of their helicopter crashing, several U.S. bases in the region have been targeted by a powerful assault from the heroic army of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the brave warriors of the IRGC. The criminal U.S. Army should know that if it repeats any aggression against the Islamic Republic of Iran, more severe and extensive strikes will be carried out against the designated target bank in the region, unquote. Trump's so-called self-defense strikes after the Apache loss appear to have faltered almost as soon as they began. Another MQ-9 drone has reportedly been downed by the IRGC in Jam City, in Iran's Bushehr province. On camera, IRGC air defenses appear to intercept an American drone as U.S. battlefield losses mount. Mojtaba appears to begin his revenge campaign as the first missile is launched from Iran amid renewed aggression. Multiple U.S. airstrikes rock Iran as Trump fumes over the reported downing of an Apache near Hormuz. Trump appears to hit back at Mojtaba after the U.S. helicopter loss escalates tensions in the Gulf. Trump confirms retaliatory strikes after Iran is blamed for the first reported Apache hit of the conflict. Donald Trump said, and I quote, I have just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must of necessity respond to this attack. Thank you for your attention to this matter, unquote. CENTCOM launches what it describes as self-defense strikes against Iranian targets amid renewed confrontation. War flares again in the Middle East just days after the latest Iran-Israel clash raised hopes of restraint. The U.S. targets Iran in what is being framed as a proportional response after containing Israeli pressure. U.S. Central Command said, and I quote, U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, forces began launching self-defense strikes against Iran at 5 p.m. ET today at the Commander-in-Chief's direction, in response to yesterday's downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter. The mission is a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression, unquote. New blasts are reported at multiple Iranian military sites as the confrontation widens again. Southern Iran comes under fire after the U.S. retaliation linked to the Apache incident. Trump's response is being portrayed as a desperate move as the fragile ceasefire begins to fray again. Iran International citing Iranian media and officials reported, and I quote, U.S. military forces struck several Iranian air defense batteries and radar systems around the Strait of Hormuz. One projectile impact has been confirmed in Sirik and several others on Qeshm Island. The U.S. airstrikes targeted Iran's Sirik and Jask naval bases, an air defense position in Bandar Abbas, coastal missile batteries in Minab and Qeshm, and the port of Qeshm. Explosion sounds were heard in the vicinity of the southern Iranian port city of Jask, unquote. The Hormuz flashpoint ignites fresh fire as the IRGC says it will deliver a response. Iran's top diplomat warned U.S. forces to leave the region before the latest strikes intensified the crisis. Abbas Araghchi said, and I quote, despite its defeats on the battlefield, the U.S. opted to test our determination. Our powerful armed forces will leave no attack or threat unanswered. Leave our region if you want to be safe. History of the Persian Gulf has many chapters on dire fates of intruding outsiders, unquote.